All right, let's get some light on my face. It is Saturday, the 9th of November. I've just parked up here on the Pacific Coast Highway. Pacific Ocean right there. I'm across the road from Sycamore Canyon Campground, where I'm going to start my recce of the Ray Miller 50 mile, which is on in exactly 4 weeks time. Okay, let's get across the road, let's get inland, and let's get going on this recce. Okay, so on race day I'm going to come down this way and head on this way with only about 5 or 6 miles to go to the finish line. Let's do a little bit of running. Here we go. Okay, I expected to be running along this fire road for longer. I'm up about 1.1 mile from the campground, which is where that junction is that I showed you a little while ago. And we're going to come out of this here on race day onto this nice, smooth, easy 1 mile section of fire road and head down there. But for me today, I'm not going to head up this way now. I'm going to head out this way and up towards Danielson and do a nice loop that should pick up the trail further up there and then bring me back out here. Okay, let's keep moving. Okay, so this is where I wanted to get to. I've come up this road here, and right at this moment in time I have hit the junction with the actual trail again. So on race day we will come down this way, having been at the most significant aid station of the race, the one you hit the most number of times, just up there, probably I'm going to say no more than half a mile. We'll come down here and now we're on trail. Okay, some more nice fire road. Alright, weren't long on that road at all before we head onto some single track. Okay, we've come half a mile on this beautiful single track. 0.7 of a mile before we hit the next fire road. Alright, we've come to this clearing. We've come 1.2 miles along that single track, and now we are heading up here on Ranch Center Fire Road. Let's do it. Oh, okay. Coming off the single track and onto the fire road, it is a kick up, so it's climbing. I've ran it up to this section, but now it's kicked up a bit more. Remains to be seen whether I'll run all of it, some of it, or none of it on race day, but I'll be fairly confident I will not be running this section. Okay, so we've come 1 mile from Sin Nombre to Fox's Road. Climb, it is a climb, 1 mile, but now we're clearly running down. Yes, we are. Just checking the GPX file. Oh, are we though? Are we though? No, we're not. We are continuing to climb. Yes, confirmed. But back onto single track, but definitely climbing. And now we're definitely walking. Okay. So what have we had? At mile 16, having dropped down from that main aid station, we hit the fire road. We got some nice easy running until we hit, so that's about 1.5 miles of nice easy running, a little bit on the fire road, then onto the single track before we turn left up onto the climbing fire road. And we have been climbing ever since, which at this stage is probably somewhere around 1.5 miles of climbing. And we continue. Okay, let's see where it takes us. This is a great little section of single track, I gotta say. Lovely little trail. My advice, Keep your eyes a little higher on the trail so that you see the twists and turns. There are a couple of sections where a horse trail will take a slightly longer bend, whereas the trail runner can come down on a legitimate trail a little bit earlier. Not talking much in it, but I'd hate if there was somebody right behind me and I took the horse trail and they took the straight down trail runner trail. Okay, down off the hidden pond trail, down onto this far trail, but not for long. Straight across. Ooh, I ran straight through this junction without even seeing it. My watch didn't really scream at me to tell me I should have taken this left and gone up this Sin Nombre connection route. Alright, I'm sure it's going to be well signposted on race day, but point to note, keep your eyes open. Okay, a little overgrown, but actually that connecting section, I'd say if it was 150 meters, that's about as much as it was. And again, after only about 150 meters on the road there, we're into Danielson multi-use area. And I am familiar with this area because I actually did a trail maintenance day for this very race this time last year, clearing this trail that I'm about to come onto. So I get to see if my handiwork has stood the test of time. An important point to note about Danielson Ranch is that it is where us 50 milers will hit the first of our 2 drop bag areas. So after a cold start, I bet you this morning was cold, give it another 4 weeks, morning's gonna be freezing, and now it's hot, and maybe it'll be the same on race day, so maybe we'll take off some of the cold weather gear and splash on some sunscreen. The other important point to note is that Danielson is only mile 23, not even halfway there yet. Look at the quality of this trail. Whew. Beautiful. Okay, we are 1.9 miles, and I'll tell you, I'd forgotten how much it is almost exclusively uphill. Maybe the first half mile zigzagging around the riverbed, but after that it kicks up. And what I know for sure is that this is exceptionally steep. Thankfully I'm not going up there today. This is the out and back to Yerba Buena, which is part of the 50 mile. But I'm going to continue on here, which is what the 50kers will do. Wise men and women. Because let me tell you, all out and backs are not created equal. And this one is an absolute beast. Ooh, let me tell you something else though. Can't beat a recce. Looking at a website is fine, but nothing beats boots on the ground. Alright, so I haven't been down this trail before. Looking forward to it. It should take me back towards Sycamore Canyon Campground. Alright, about a mile from that junction. Climbing, and continuing to climb. Where is this taking me to? 3.4 miles to Sycamore Canyon Fire Road. Is it really that far? Didn't think I was going to be out that long. Okay, not long after that last junction, and a little more climbing, we've hit this plateau. I got a feeling we got some good running ahead of us. All the way down to Sycamore Canyon, hopefully. Ooh, down here. Good to know. Good to know. Onto the connector. Alright. And we are back down here where it all began. Pretty much. So yeah, that was a nice long rolling section down from really down from the junction with Chamberlain. So put up the distance from there to here. But yeah, no, most runnable section I've been on all day. Very nice. So message is, don't waste yourself on the section from Yerba Buena on down to Chamberlain. Save a little for that section, because then you come down here We know you're onto the fire road for about a mile. More easy running before you hit that right hand turn and start to climb again. One important point to note about this section where you hit the fire road is that this is where the aid station will be, not down at the Sycamore Canyon campsite. So we've still 1 mile to go down this road, but when you come out onto it, this is where the aid station is going to be. Good to know. Oh, and boom! Back down to Sycamore Campground, where on race day we'll be turning right and starting our last climb of the day. Oh, I thought that was where I was going to finish my video today, but it turns out that Claire is running with 2 of her friends from Yerba Buena, which is the furthest point on the 50-mile out and back section, all the way to the finish line, which is kind of where I was pointing to just there, over to Ray Miller Trailhead. So we're going to pick this up again in the morning and do another 17 miles. All right, and through the wonders of modern technology, it is tomorrow. Today. We've climbed up here from Chumach Car Park to head on over to the very other side of the course, to where I was yesterday, which is perfect. Claire told me we're going to do 17 miles today. Melissa has just informed me now it's 23 miles. That's all good. I get to see a completely different side of the course, and so do you. Alright, so we've just come up here, literally joined the course. We're at mile 8 now, and we're immediately taking a left here onto La Jolla Valley. Claire's putting the poles away, I put mine away. Let's get this show on the road. So there's a loop here. We're going to come down. We're going to take this left-hand turn. It'll bring us right around and back up this road that we've just come. Don't know if you can see that, but this is the big HQ junction with roads off in every direction. So on race day, we're going to come down from this direction. We're going to head down there and do that loop that we've kind of done half of at this stage. We're going to head over here and do another loop. Alright, after 3 miles of easy running from mile 8 to 11, we've now started a little climb up here in the middle of the Santa Monica Mountains. Okay, the second loop continues the theme of being very runnable. Long may it last. Okay, that second loop did kick up there for probably the last half mile or so. And now we turn down. And we've dropped onto a long, nice, easy descent. Whoa! Super long, not too technical. Descent there on the second loop, still ongoing. Very easy miles. Be very happy to see this on race day. Just a nice gradient. Let gravity do the majority of the work. Let your body fall down the hill. Beautiful. Not great, but about half that second loop done. As I said, first mile, a little bit of uphill in that, but after that, whoa, whoa-wee. Just let that body roll. Okay, so that was the Guadalaska trail we just came down, 3.8 miles, as I mentioned, nice easy running. We're going to come down to this junction here and we're going to take a right back up to the main aid station. Today, get to do this final climb. Yeah, you start climbing straight away. 5 miles to go. Oh, you got these big steps as well. It's like, ugh. I gotta say, this climb isn't too bad actually. The gradient, while it is uphill, and some people, if they've got the energy, will probably still choose to run it. I think most people are going to walk it, but it's not too bad. You know, you just settle into it, chunk it out, and get it done. And now we're heading for the Ray Miller Trail, 1.6 miles. That's where we're heading over there. But as the sign back there just said, we got about 2 miles of this uphill gravel fire road section. Nothing for it but to suck it up, buttercup. I just had a thought. This will be an interesting section of the course because you will be able to see everybody up ahead of you and behind you on the course along this trail. So you can see it heading out there on the right hand side. Okay, that's the end of that fire road section. It does kick up here and there, so it's going to be a bit of a killer, bit of a soul destroyer. And then we're going to take this left. We're really going along the crest here. You can see somebody running over there. It is a bit of a climb, but after that it's down, down, down. Okay, at the beginning of the race we're going to come up this same way and we're going to go left, but that's what we're going to do now because we got to get back over to Chumach car park. So this is the first section heading over to that first aid station. I think the aid station is about 4.5 miles or so. Very runnable, but what is interesting is at the end of this day now we're over 20 miles now, and particularly with yesterday's run in the legs as well, some of the hills that I know I will be running on race day I am not running now, and it always begs that question: if you can't run them at the end of the race, should you be running them at the start of the race? And we are coming down now to that aid station. I should probably put the name of that aid station up on the screen, since it's the one that we hit time and time and time again. Yeah, we came up from that direction straight ahead, which we will do on race day, but on race day on our way down we will take this left. I don't know when it was done, but there was clearly some good trail maintenance done in this section. I can't imagine what it would be like otherwise. Okay, so nearing the end of my section before I drop off the Ray Miller Trail and down to the car park. So let me tell you what I think of the Ray Miller course. Hell of a course. Yeah, really like it. You're off, you know, you're not running on any roads where you're likely to see cars at any stage. Lots of climbing, descending and runnable sections. So yeah, what do we got? We climb up out of Ray Miller, so I would say keep your ego in check. You're just after your breakfast and you're full of beans, so just settle in, because once you get up, very runnable until you hit this peak here, or at least this climb up to Point Magoo. But very runnable before this. And look, it's still early in the race here. You're going to have, this isn't going to cause any significant impedance, and you keep going. And I would say you keep going. It's rolling after this, up and down, but generally good trail running country all the way to Danielson. And Danielson for me is where the race begins. You know, it's only mile 23, still got a long way to go, not even halfway there, and it's a big climb begins. You come out of Danielson and it lulls you into a false sense of security because it's not too steep initially, but it builds, and you are going to find yourself walking, I would say, for about 5 miles uphill, you know, which is unusual in a trail race that you're walking for that long. But again, you just gotta settle in, get to Yerba Buena, turn around and head down. And then when you get back onto that section at the bottom of Chamberlain and turn left, rejoining the 50k course, well, then it's game on. There's some beautiful running sections back down onto Sycamore Canyon, Fire Road, along the Fire Road for a mile to that last aid station at Sycamore Canyon campground. You can restock there, your crew can meet you there. That's the only crew station. And well, I thought my battery had died. Then you turn right, big climb, you know, it's not too bad initially until you get up onto the Fire Road, and then I think you're going to start to feel it. It kicks up a little bit. You get all the way up to Ray Miller, you turn left, and then it's smoke 'em if you got 'em, all the way down to Ray Miller Trailhead. You're going to hit that road at the end. Remember, you had a little bit of road at the beginning, so keep a little bit for when you hit level ground for that final kick to the finish line. That's it, guys. Best of luck. I got to finish this thing out. All right, I'll meet you all at the start line in 4 weeks' time. Take it home. All right, bonus footage. We're down here at the start of the Ray Miller course now. The start is down here, so you're going to have a little bit of road to begin with and a little bit of road at the end. We're running with this group here, and we're going to do the first section of the course. Then we're going to peel off from this group and do our own thing. Okay, out from the car park and onto the trail. Here we go. Just settle in. Get this climb out of the way, there's plenty of running after that. So don't be fooled by it. You can see how high we have come up from the road below. Just because they're nice sweeping curves, not a sharp zigzag up the hill. Over 2 miles of climbing now, and now we can start to run. So really, we were just walking to the start line. Let the race begin! Yeah, it continues with some nice easy running for about half a mile. Then you hit this junction when you start the long climb all the way back up again to regain all that ground you just lost. Let's go. Alright, you're going to see this tree from a long way down the valley. 'Cause let me tell you, it's a hell of a climb. But you know, once you hit this tree, you're almost at mile 16 and the aid station. Whew, alright, hell of a climb. Mile 16. Last time seeing this aid station. This time we do go left, back out the route we came in originally. Gonna hit that aid station at 4.8 miles. We come up just a very short distance and head out this right, which you may or may not have seen as you were just about to hit the aid station. Okay, take us down to Sycamore Canyon Fire Road. Alright, 1.8 miles. Easy. Yeah, beautiful sweeping trail all the way down. Absolutely, best running of the course, I would say. Just a nice gradient, not too steep. All good. And yes, I appreciate this hasn't been a 50-mile recce really, since I didn't do that out and back section to Yerba Buena. I did do it 2 weeks ago though with Claire, and let me tell you, as I mentioned, steep uphill all the way, then downhill, pretty steep, but easy running to the aid station, turn around, good climb up. About, what would I say that is, maybe a mile, mile and a half before you've got that long descent back down to the junction of the 50k with the bottom of Chamberlain there. It is pretty overgrown at the top as well. I don't think it's going to be tidied up between now and the race. Bit overgrown.
It's a jungle.
Technical, overgrown at top, but other than that, it is what it is. There's still about a quarter mile of climbing after you take that left turn. But after that, all roads lead to Ray Miller Campground. Oh man, I absolutely gunned that descent. Full welly, full throttle, full gas. Whoa, brilliant, brilliant descent. Oh, all right, and we are out onto the road. Just going to take it down, whoo, to the finish line for the end of the Ray Miller trail series at this stage. Whoo! Smoke 'em if you got 'em. All right, and that's it really. Finish line is going to be somewhere here. All right, guys, there you have it. I really mean it this time. That's the end of the Ray Miller. 3 weeks time, we'll do it in earnest. We'll make a proper video in sequence. Over and out.